You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Big episode, Ryan. It's always big when I have Tom Welling on.
A fan favorite.
A fan favorite.
A frequent flyer.
Yes.
Another FF thing.
And he was here in person.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice when Tom's in person, because usually he's not. But we have a lot to talk about. If you're here for Tom Welling and you're not subscribed to this show, shame on you. We've been doing this a long time, so I think it helps a lot of people. So if you would subscribe, that would be great. If you want to join Patreon to support the podcast even more and give back, that would be amazing. Patreon.com/insideofyou. You can go on my Instagram at the Michael Rosenbaum to my link tree. I'm on Cameo. I give good Cameo. Check out the cons, the next cruise we're all going on, the cast, Creation Con, the Smallville Con in Chicago, and much more. I'm going to Cincinnati and blah, blah, blah. Also, the Inside of You online store. If you want Lexmas scripts signed by me, which are really cool, ship keys signed by me, Funkos signed by me, the pilot episode signed by me, the lunchbox signed by, Smallville lunchbox signed by me and Tom. Those are dope. I can't believe we haven't sold out of those yet. Those are amazing. And much more. Pictures of me, all that stuff. And don't trust other sites that sell my stuff. Because a lot of time it's not me. And I don't want you to get ripped off. But thank you for all the support. And why don't we just do it? Everything's good. It's like people are like, you can't compare Tom with the new Superman, because Tom wasn't Superman. He was Clark Kent.
I know, but when I saw the new Superman, I was like, that's not my Superman.
Yeah, but Tom never became Superman.
That's true. Technically did not.
He didn't. So when it comes to TV's Clark Kent, I mean, he's my Clark Kent. I love Tyler. I love George Reeves, but like Tom is my Clark Kent.
Yeah.
But when it comes to movies,
David
Corn Sweat is amazing. I've said it the last couple of weeks. I think he's amazing. I'd love to hear what you think of the movie. Be honest, but did you give it 2 roses, 3 roses, a rose? What'd you give it? Did you? I can't imagine people are not going to like it. But again, please some of the people some of the time, a few of the people all the time. But you can't please all the people all the time. There's going to be some people that don't like it. There's going to be a lot of people that like it. Everywhere in between.
Just so do we want to talk about the Superman movie for 3 weeks in a row?
Yeah, we did it. I mean, Anyway, yeah, and I my Instagram, there's a lot of fun pictures from the premiere if you want to check that out. But anyway, let's just get inside of Tom Welling. It's my point of view. You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum was not recorded in front of a live studio audience. Well, if you didn't know, we have a very special guest with us today.
Ryan,
no, we have Tom Welling. He's here. He's with us. Tom, it's like, you're like, what are we going to talk about? It's like, what do we ever talk about?
I have no idea what we're talking about.
There's so much to talk about.
Hopefully it's not me.
And Ryan's here. If you watch the Smallville podcast, Ryan's here as well. So he's here in case,
just to fill some time gaps.
Yeah, you never know. By the way, Tom, so Smallville's been over for how long?
25 years.
No, we started 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So it ended in 2011.
Listen, you have to understand, I don't think about it all the time. And I mean that in a good way. Like sometimes I forget it happened.
No.
I don't walk around every day thinking that.
In your underoos?
Oh, how many days has there been since?
No, but like it's 2025. The show ended in 2011. So 14 years ago it ended.
Yeah, I think we're coming into the 15th anniversary.
Yeah. And we talk about this. You and I have talked about it. But when you were in it, you would have never considered doing autograph signings. You would never consider doing a podcast. You would never consider doing a lot of these things.
No.
It wouldn't have crossed your mind. First of all, why is that, you think? Is it because you were working so much?
Yes. That's the easiest answer. I think a big part of doing the cons now was you helping me understand that you're around people who love and support you in your endeavors, whereas a lot of what I had before that was people trying to like trick me. Or get me to do things.
Get you to do things.
Like
That's how you felt.
The Rolling Stone interview, which you and I have talked about in the past, where they were trying to like trick us into doing something. And that's what, like, press tours are very scary because they're trying to like find stuff.
There's always an angle. How do we get the most out of time?
Right. Whereas at the con, people are like, hey man, I like your stuff. High five. Cool.
Yeah, there's no angle. There's just like, hey, I'm here to see you.
Yeah.
And you're there to see them.
Yeah. And I also just didn't have the time back then. I mean,
You didn't have the time. But I also thought, like, I was thinking about this and I was like, you had a different mentality. I think that
fun wasn't on my radar.
No, I think you were more serious.
Yeah.
You were more.
I felt very responsible,
guarded,
to keep a schedule and be guarded.
and guarded, and sort of like, no, I'm not doing that. I got it. For whatever reason, I think you were protecting yourself.
Yep.
Inadvertently, maybe, because you were like, no, I'm going to do my work in this. No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing it. Because you turned down a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was always difficult, I'm sure, to get you to do anything. And so, but I also think that you could speak for this, but what do you think it is after 14 years later that all of a sudden you're like, hey, I want to do this?
You know, I mentioned this earlier at a meeting with my agent this morning, and we were talking about, he's got 2 younger clients who are up for these new things, which is great. And you know, the first thing that came to mind was, do you want me to talk to them? That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel like I could be like, this is great what you're doing. And, but like, maybe I can help you how to navigate it a little bit so that you don't just like feel like you're just horrible all the time. Like, not horrible,
Right.
but like you're just being controlled all the time. Because it doesn't have to be that way. And I think it's taken this long for us to be like this, for me to look back and see how I was doing that. I think it was safety measures.
Yeah.
In a lot of way. Yeah, it was funny. It was funny for me this morning when he said that. I was like, man, I feel like I could. And sometimes when you talk to other people on other shows, that's sort of the backroom discussions of how do you navigate? How do you navigate?
Well, it was the same with Tyler Hecklin. You know,
Yep.
Tyler, who I love. He was just on the podcast. It took years for him to come on the podcast. He was just kind of like,
I saw your clips for that.
Yeah, I'm doing this. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to, bullshit. I don't. And when it was over, we made it happen. And, I think he still needs some time probably because he just got done with the series. But like after shooting a series for 10 years, it took you time to sort of go, now I could look back with fond memories. I'm out of it. I'm not the same guy anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not the same. And, and it's also like everybody, like I've never been in a situation where people are just like constantly coming after you. I've never been really the lead. I've always been the second lead or this, or never like crazy press, just like, people are like, hey, will Michael do this interview, or, some heightened success.
Sure.
But nothing like, playing Clark Kent on Smallville for 10 years. So I can't even relate. I can relate in a small way, but like, you're doing all this and there comes
it's
a point.
also like, oh, poor me or whatnot. But like,
you just weren't interested.
I don't get anything out of it in that.
Well, you get something
In that
out
part
of
of
the
it.
cons and the
Yeah.
podcast now.
Yeah, no, I do. But like the idea of my fame or celebrity has never worked when I wanted it to. Put it like a dinner reservation, a hotel that's
That's
booked.
not true.
No, I'm telling you. Every time I've tried to use it, it
I've
doesn't
used
work.
your name
Well,
without you.
yeah, and my credit card at Dantana's.
No, yeah.
But it just, for me, it was, I liked the work. I didn't like the other stuff so much. And I think I've just learned how to navigate the other stuff a little bit better now.
It's funny because
But like, there's no coaches for that. There's no one to show
No,
you.
and you were so young and you're
Yeah.
taking all this time. I had been in the industry for a while, and for me, it was like, hell yeah, I can get into this place. I can go to this place. I get a free trip. I get this. They're paying me to do this. I was enjoying it. I was relishing.
That is your gift.
I was
will say
relishing the moment, taking advantage, not of them, but taking advantage of the situation.
that. Yeah.
Taking advantage of opportunities.
Understanding the opportunity presented, and
yeah.
that it's there for a limited amount of time, which
Yeah.
I know now better
Exactly.
than I.
Boy,
Yeah.
it is. I remember they're like, hey, they want to fly you to promote the show. They're going to give you 2 first-class tickets to London. And then I was like, great. And then I thought, and I go, I want to stay at this hotel Yeah, it had heated floors. I know it sounds cocky, but no, I wanted to go. I was like, I want this hotel. It's in the heart of everywhere. I want them to give me a chauffeur for the entire week. I can go drive wherever I want. I don't want to deal with that. I just started naming things. I'm like, sure. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome. So that part of it's cool, but like it is usually, unless you're a star that just continues to rise and is like a name that's been around for, these things end. They're ephemeral. They don't last long. So you take advantage of the opportunities because you may not see them again.
It's the idea of life is not coming at you, it's coming from you. But at the same time, that all sounds great. But when you're in that situation, there's no one there to be like, hey, this is what you should do. And that's why you need mentors.
Right.
And you need people around to be like, and you were in many ways that way to me because I saw you having fun, which I didn't understand at the time. If you know what I mean? Like I saw you having fun, but I was like, I don't know how to do that.
I think maybe
I have more fun.
Well, I'm not blaming your agents, but maybe at the time your agents were kind of very delicate with you and like, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. Probably. And they were part of that machine. And if they were more like, hey, I really think you should do this. I think this is important. I think this is going to be good. I'm sure you had those conversations where they try to get you to do things, but
yeah, a lot of it's follow the money.
Yeah. Oh, for them.
Yeah.
Just as much as you, they're getting a piece of that. They want you to work to make money. That's how they survive.
Yeah.
So they, you have to separate the business where you have to look at it like, it's like, oh, my agent's great. My agent loves me. You're like, well, that's kind of true.
As long as you're making
them money. It's a contingency.
Yeah.
It's not about like, hey, you're just a great guy and you're not making me any money and I just want to keep you as a client. Because I've had these talks with my agent. I go, hey, you could get rid of me at any time. Because I want to make my own decisions and I want to do this. But I think he knows that I have such confidence in myself that if I want to do something, I will. And whether it happens tomorrow or 2 years
You're not
from
a bad investment in something you want to do.
Right. And what does it cost you? Nothing. I'm just there.
Yeah.
And, you're making a little money off me, but you could potentially make a lot of money off me. So it's those people that are in for the long haul. And that's very unlikely in this business. If you're not working, they're not working with you. What about like the Rewatch podcast? You were hesitant at first, and then you saw it as it kind of created more buzz for cons and people and fans, and like it became something else. Like I think the podcast has lifted a lot of things up in a lot of ways.
I think so. What I've found is I tend to remember more good things than bad things. Whereas I think when I was going through it, I wasn't very happy most of the time.
Isn't that ironic? Because you're remembering, I'm the one who's remembering all the bad things and you're remembering all the good things and it makes you look like, oh, Tom's a nice guy.
I think maybe that's what I was holding on to all those years too, were those good moments that made it worth it. Whether it was that one moment a day or one moment a week. I feel like that's what kept me going, that and feeling like I had a responsibility to every single person there to be there and to do my stuff. But I thought, I'm proud of it now, where I don't think I was proud of it when we were doing it. And I'm not sure why, because it's hard. And even when it
was a huge success right away, you didn't take pride in that.
No,
you really didn't.
I don't remember.
You didn't allow yourself to.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because it wasn't something you probably grew up with. Were your parents very supportive and all that?
My parents were like,
they were proud of you. They're like, look what you've done. Yeah. But you didn't see it.
Right. And I mean, not right being stop. I mean, right being like, in some ways, like we were joking around earlier about like, sometimes you need your back against the wall to get something done. Right. We were just joking about that. And maybe that was my trigger back then.
Yeah.
And I'm a little better at that now. Like sometimes I have those, I don't know if you have them or you might have them, but every once in a while you get those nightmares where you're on a set where you're not prepared. You don't have the lines, but everybody else is. And it's amazing how you can create this whole thing in a dream.
That doesn't exist.
Like there's a script and there's lines and I don't write. You write. I don't know if you write or not, but like it's a whole thing. And they're like, no, we're doing this scene today. And you're looking at it and you're like, oh my God. And it's taken me till about last year where in those moments in my dreams, I'll be like, nah, this is a dream. There's no way this would happen. I know now. There's no way I would not know what's happening.
So you were putting pressure on yourself and your dreams were translating into that. And I also think, do you think maybe that you were so young and so like good looking guy, hit show, young, all this stuff. Do you think there's part of it like, I want to play the part of a movie star. I want to be more ambiguous. I want to be like, I want people to perceive me as maybe this. And you were maybe thinking what you were doing would create that. And then ultimately you didn't like it.
I felt and still feel like I was there to do the work. And that's it.
Yeah.
And I really didn't want to be bothered other than that.
Yeah.
And sometimes I may have come off as like not, the most, I don't know, hopefully I was polite, but I wasn't a jerk.
You're always
but I was there for like, we're doing the work today. That's all I want. That's all.
Well, you were a great leader in that regard because you always just, you're like, let's go, let's do it. We got to make this day. We got to, and part of it was you're working every hour. Some people were just coming in, doing a scene and leaving. It's like, let's go. I know you're having fun because you're here for 4 hours. Yeah. I'm here for 16. Let's go. And that can get, you talk to a lot of guys like Amel and Tyler. It's never easy. It's never as easy as being a lead is so exciting. And like from the perspective of like an audience, the fans are like, you're the star, you're all these things. It's so much, but there's so much pressure. There's so much more that it's hard to enjoy because you don't have the time to really enjoy. You don't have the time to just go, hey, I'm going to go to Cabo for a week. Yeah, right.
No, you're not.
No, you're not going to Cabo.
No, you're not.
Yeah. No, I know. Inside of You is brought to you by Shopify. If you don't have Shopify and you have a business, any kind of business, if you don't have it, you're missing out. Shopify is the jam. They are the way to go. I don't know anybody else. These guys are all I know. I have 2 podcasts and I've had stores for many years, and they make shopping and selling and all that so easy. Their dashboard it's like I think a child can do that. If you have a product, Ryan, you just take a picture and upload it. You put a description, you put how much it weighs, 5 ounces. I bought a little scale for $3 or whatever it was. How many of these do I have? 20 in stock. It keeps track of all that. Your analytics, how much you're making month to month. If this product isn't selling well, you'll know it. I really love Shopify, and I think that they are helping a lot of businesses across the world. Accelerate your content creation. Shopify is packed with helpful AI tools that write product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product photography.
Get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. Easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling.
And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into cha-ching with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your 1-month, $1 per month trial period and start selling today at shopify.com/inside. Go to shopify.com/inside. Shopify.com/inside.
There was this funny thing. I don't know if I've said this before, but it took me a couple years to figure this out, but I used to make a list during the season. And whenever I felt like there was something I wanted to do that I couldn't do, I'd put it down on this piece of paper and I kept it in my trailer. And then I would look at that during the off season, and you'd be surprised how many of those things I really didn't feel like doing. But it was a way of me going, when I don't have when I'm not on the show and I do have the time, I need to be doing these things. Otherwise, you're just sitting around.
Yeah, sedentary. We talk about that on the podcast a lot. It's like so many people do it, and it's easy to get caught up in like, I'm just going to watch a show. I'm going to eat. I'm going to not leave the house. I'm going to just hang out. It's comfort zone. And it's so unhealthy. It's not just unhealthy. People think, well, you're sitting around.
Yeah.
Your body is not moving.
Right.
It's bad for your heart. It's bad for your digestion. It's bad for, you have muscle mass and things like that. I've done that, and I'm trying to get out of that. And it really, you get depressed the longer you don't do things.
Well, I also
that's why
think
people stay busy. I understand that now.
Yeah, there is a reason that you just keep moving so that you don't have to stop and think.
Yeah.
There's that. But my wife talks about like being passionate. Like what's passionate? Like what do you want to do? And there's a lot of things sometimes that you do in your life that maybe you're not passionate about, but you do to keep yourself moving so that you don't have to really look at something. So I don't know. But I do feel like on the show, I was just like, next. And on the podcast now, you're able to turn it around and kind of I feel like I'm absorbing it more.
Yeah, I could tell you're having fun, which is good.
I mean, I just follow your guys' lead most of the time.
Ryan, do you sense like he has fun doing it?
Like, yeah. I wouldn't do it by myself.
No.
Well, no. No. It looks like you're having fun. I think as far as like your memory of the show goes, it's kind of interesting. Like when we get towards the end of a season, you definitely go blank.
Yeah.
And you mention it's because you're so tired filming that thing. And we're trying to remember the finale of the last season. You're like, I got nothing.
Nothing.
You're just nothing.
Yeah. And you don't try to act like you remember things. You're just like, no, I don't. And I feel the same way. I can't.
How do I'm trying to put three things together real quick that I enjoy the podcast because when I watch it, I remember things that I like, which then makes me remember more things I like, which is what I want to share because I didn't get to share when I was on the show.
Right.
And so when I say I don't remember, that's not a happy feeling for me. I'm like, how did I do this? And I don't remember anything about it.
Well, 200 plus episodes.
I mean, so. I just don't want to do the poor me thing, but
right.
it's literally, it's a marathon and it's survival mode half the time. And you can't be creative in survival and you can't be in creative mode and survival mode at the same time, which is, I've brought this up before, but a lot of times it was just survival. Yeah.
Did you think that if you look back, were there any turning points or moments where you're like, I can't fucking do this, even though you did?
There wasn't an option.
You're just like, there's no option.
There's no option of me saying no.
The other option would be like jeopardize your entire career and quit.
That
never occurred.
It didn't even occur to me. We just did an episode recently where it reoccurred to me that I had a fever in the church scene and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. We just talked about that. I still thought I would go to work. Like, it's just not a no in my mind. There's no like, I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Did you get past in the beginning where you had nerves and every day you're kind of nervous and getting used to it? Did you get to a point pretty quickly that you were like, I'm going to set, it's work, I'm not nervous. Yeah. We're just doing this.
There's no time for that.
There's no time for that. You just had no time.
No time.
You had time on like Lucifer to be a little nervous because you weren't in every scene, right? You had time in the new show. Now I have time, too much time to think.
Lucifer was funny because I would show up as the 4-hour guy on the day with,
hey, how's everybody doing? I'm buying coffee today.
And everybody's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like you're there to do that thing. And that was the first time I've ever had that experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was never a morning where it was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go. Just
yeah, you can't. It's not like you can.
I understood my responsibilities.
That's good. Sense. That's good. Did you, I feel like you're closer. We've talked about this, but I feel like you're closer with your family now that the show's over, especially now that you have kids. There's a completely different appreciation maybe for them.
I think so. I think, again, you talk about time or bandwidth. I mean, I remember when my parents came to visit and after 2 days of being on set, which as you know, visiting sets is not fun.
Not fun.
They were like, they were going to be there for like, I don't know, I'm guessing 2 weeks. And they're like, so we're going to go because we're not seeing you. Like they're seeing me for like a 5 minute, 2 minute.
They didn't understand.
Well, I think they did understand. They understood that visiting me on the set was not visiting me.
No.
And they ended up going to Vancouver Island and then did some other things.
They did some fun things.
And I think they made a good choice. Cause like,
did you feel bad at all? No. You didn't have time.
Didn't have time. Maybe that's the t-shirt. I didn't have time.
I didn't have time to think. I didn't have time to be sick. I didn't have time to feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, it's like we're grateful when we do these things, but when you sign on to do a show, I've said it before, it's like, hey, this is 5 or 6 or 10 years of your life and you're going to be just working and you're not going to have time for your friends. And life is, as we know, the older you get, when you're younger, you don't realize it. You ignore it. Every time you hear life's short, please remember that it goes by so fast. You're like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I went to Coachella.
It's taken forever to do everything.
Yeah. It's like, well, I have all the time in the world. And it doesn't hit you till you're about 40. Yeah. And then you start to go, oh my gosh, how is this year over?
Yeah.
How is this? And things just keep moving. And your kids are growing and all this stuff. And so it is a sacrifice. Everything's a sacrifice. But like, every dad out there or mom going to work every day for their kids is a sacrifice.
There's a part of me in the conversation I had with my agent earlier today, thinking about the 2 younger actors who just got their new jobs. And I was like, of course they want new ones because they don't know any better. And I mean that in the best sense. Like, there's no way I would work the way I did then, now. Like, no way.
You couldn't.
I wouldn't. Like, I wouldn't. I just know that, like,
I couldn't physically
that's
do it
not right.
now. I could not mentally and physically do it right now. Couldn't do it.
And listen, to people listening, like, oh, we've gotten to those places where we can make those choices and all that other stuff. But like, because I hate saying it's not fair because it's like, it's a great opportunity and all these other things. But like, I'm sure with Tyler even, there's times when you're just like, this isn't like healthy, but maybe it's not supposed to be. I don't know.
Well, I mean, people have dangerous jobs, but I think that, not sleeping and working 14, 16 hours every day and like being on your feet and stressing in your back and your head and I think it's a young man's game. Yeah. Like, I think that, very few people now, first of all, they don't do 22 episodes of a show anymore.
Right.
Secondly, it's mostly not, 50 plus year olds being the leads on these series, unless they're so established like NCIS where they work like 3 days a week and they shoot all their stuff and they know how to do it. They're getting paid millions
and they get shot out in 6 hours.
Yeah. And it's just like not brain surgery.
Right.
Some of these shows. So I get it. Now you got 2 kids, you got the wife, you live on a farm up north. Do you miss living in LA at all? Do you miss? Not at all.
I lived in New York when I was younger as well. And I loved it. And I used to think that I would live there forever, but I love visiting and leaving. And LA, I get more out of LA now that I don't live here. Like when I come into town, I actually do so many things that I would waste months
doing nothing,
sitting around.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't miss it.
Well, you were talking before about like your wife, said, what are you passionate about?
Yeah.
I mean, you're obviously really passionate about your family. That's number one. It gives you purpose.
Yeah.
You have passion. But like, does acting, does the entertainment industry, does that still give you passion? Do you still love being on sets? Do you still love the whole making of movies?
I love it. This is not a joke. I feel like everything that's wrong with me works on a set.
Structure.
It's just like
here now.
Yes, like it all makes sense to me. Off a set, I feel like I'm a little spacey about like, what's this and what's that, what's value, what's that. But here's your role, here's your lines, here's your spot, here's your time. That's all comforting.
It's like military.
It's
like people go in the military because that's what they need.
But I don't think
them.
It's an environment that's designed to allow you to be creative. And I think
it's a happy place.
It's a happy, there's no failure. Like, what's a big deal? Right. Whereas if you go out of line in the real life, you get in trouble. Like you're safe. I feel safe on set, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, it's weird for me. I hate to be tied down. I hate to give too much of my time and take away from rest and my dogs and my life. So I like.
But when you do, you do.
When I do. I enjoy it.
I will say this, and Ryan, please jump in or don't feel like you have to. But I was thinking about this yesterday. One of the things that I see when I'm with you a lot is I see a lot of people trying in the best way, trying to like box you in so they could be funnier or better than you in a given social scenario, like backstage at a con or whatnot. Like I see it all the time, and I see it, and it never works. But I see them like, oh, Rose, oh, because you'll say something funny or do this, and they'll try to like over it, and you'll just navigate around it and this and that. And you're really good about that because you've decided to be there. But I've never seen it actually, but I also think that if you didn't want to be there, you would not be there.
Mm-mm.
If you would not be engaging at all. And I think you and I get along with that as well. Like I can be a little probably possessive or dominating in that when I decide to do something,
when you engage,
I'm doing it.
Right.
Like that's it. And I think that's what probably got me through doing the show. But I didn't necessarily, now I realize I didn't necessarily, doesn't bring enjoyment.
I think if you're going to do something, you have to do it for the right reasons. When you do it for money, that's never the right reason.
Or maybe money is the right reason, but at least you've made the choice.
But I think in terms of having, for me, it's an element of fun. It's an element of creativity. It's an element of connection. It's all these things. And on top of it, when I put this all together in my head, could I do this? Could I achieve it? Could I get through it? Am I doing anything to jeopardize my health or anything? So when I choose something to do, I'm like, I could do that. I can make it good. I could be successful. I could handle it. So that's when we talk about 22 episodes a year, I'm like, well, I'm not going to set myself up for disaster. It just wouldn't work for me. But if it's something like the streamers now, 8 episodes, 6 episodes, 10 episodes, a supporting role, a nice role, whatever, I'm game. But it has to be, that has to be just on my terms. Otherwise, I'll drive myself crazy.
But I think that's where we overlap. I mean, I've said this before. I don't know if it was on this podcast or the other ones, but in some ways, people are frequencies and they overlap, and that's why they get along. Okay, yeah. I think you and I on the show, we'd look at each other and be like, "This is all fucked." But let's do it.
Let's do it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, you moving into your new space too, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but it's the unknown, but your choice to accept is the biggest leap, I think. And I think that's very important. You have to want to do it. You have to want to do it for whatever reason it is.
And accept it.
Then anything that happens after that, you can operate. If otherwise you're like, I'm doing this as a favor. I mean, we joked about something earlier, but then that's actually funny. I won't talk about it. But you were talking about somebody just asked you to do something as a favor. And the next thing you said was like, yeah, well, motherfucker. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think the accountability of a decision is important.
Yeah. If you say yes, you have to know what it comes with. Like, for instance, Ryan just taking over the job of Talkville in season 7.
Yeah.
Coming up. So he's got a lot of work on his hands. Now, he didn't think about it at all. I said, you want to do it? He goes, yes. Now, what
now
Ryan
he's thinking about
it. But like Ryan, like most of the time, when somebody asked me to do something, well, he had this innate confidence. He was like, yeah, I wanted, like that excited him. He wanted to do it. There's immediately he answered because that was excitement, and it answered a lot of questions for him, didn't it? In your mind that you were thinking that you needed.
Yeah, it's because I feel like for whatever reason on that day when you called me, it was an immediate yes. Like where for most things I would waffle for weeks, but there was something just you like. I think we spent a lot of time like waiting for that moment where you're just like where you want to know an answer, and for whatever reason in that moment, like I knew the answer, like it was just in there. I didn't ask it to come. It was there. I didn't ask it to be there, but it was just there. It was like an honest truth.
And did it fill in the blanks for a lot of worries that you have or thoughts that you had?
Yeah, I think also if you're gonna talk to someone about their future on the day before their birthday, I think that's got a lot to do with it. Because he called me on the day before, and so I was like, definitely in a moment of like, oh shit, what's next? I mean, I'm doing this podcast, but like, what for? And then like you called me, I'm like, oh, I guess that for. Like a little bit, like some more responsibility and like having to like work my brain in like a new, more like to do like a better exercise, like because like with the other work I was doing, like it,
challenging yourself.
Yeah, I wanted as a challenge. Yeah.
Inside of You is brought to you by Rocket Money. Want to save money? Get the app for Rocket Money. It's ridiculously great. Everybody I know uses Rocket Money. Ryan saved money on Rocket Money. I've saved money. It's easy. Rocket Money is a finance app, a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. Genius. Monitors your spending and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. I mean, this is pretty awesome. It's not pretty awesome. It is awesome. It helped me with subscriptions because I forgot that I had a free trial, and then all of a sudden I owe $140 because I forgot to cancel. It's such BS. And Rocket Money does it. Rocket Money's 5 million members have saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, with members saving up to $740 a year when they use all the app's premium features.
Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lower bills for you. The app automatically scans your bills to find opportunities to save and then goes to work to get you better deals. They'll even talk to customer service so you don't have to.
And Ryan, get alerts if your bills increase in price. Bing, 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 bing. If there's unusual activity in your accounts. Bing, bing, bing. If you're close to going over budget, I won't give you the bing again, but it's the bing. And even when you're doing a good job, I mean, this app is fantastic. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions. Reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Download the Rocket Money app today and enter my show name, Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, in the survey so they know that I sent you. Don't wait. Download the Rocket Money app today and tell them you heard about them from my show, Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Rocket Money. Get the app.
When this is more of an inside of you question, but when he asked you and you said yes, your immediate feeling, was it calm?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Weirdly.
Watch, I'm going to be Ryan.
The truth is calm.
Ask me if I want to be the producer on Talkful. This was Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
It was
thanks.
a FaceTime.
FaceTime. You can look at me, Tom.
He did the phone thing.
Ryan, thanks for finally answering my call. Would you like me to be the producer for Talkville?
Yeah. That sounds... Yeah.
All right. Talk to you later.
I was just like...
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, I was just surprised because I got off the phone with Bryce. We're talking about the podcast.
freaking out, yeah.
And I go, maybe we should just quit. That was the first thing I thought. I'm a defeatist. I thought, I can't do this without Bryce. I just can't do it. I mean, Ryan's not going to want to do it. And he's like, I ask him. I go, yeah, all right. I'll call you right back. Ryan, you want to do it? Yeah. Okay.
Did you talk to Bryce first?
No.
No.
He had no idea it was coming in. What do you think is changing gears here? What do you think in terms of a successful relationship? What ingredient? What is it? I know it's a lot of things. If you had to narrow it down to what really makes a relationship, what do you think? Or for you, like what is it that's important? Most important.
I hope my wife sees this. I honestly believe deep down in our souls, my wife and I both want the relationship to work, and we both want our partnership as parents to work. Like, there's been things that have happened, but it really comes down to like, but we're doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No matter how hard it gets, we want to do this.
There's no going that way. It's, a lot of times you're just not paying attention to what's important.
I know.
And sometimes you don't know what that is. And trying to learn from it, like a lot of times you'll be told, don't do that again. Okay, that's clear.
Yeah.
But it also sometimes you might feel like you're not getting what you want, but it's not as clear as asking for it.
Yeah.
But if you think in terms of life comes from you, not at you, you got to navigate and communicate. I mean, people say communication, but like, what does that mean too? Which is so ironic, I think at the end of the day, like we're doing this together is the core.
Yeah. In my small existence of relationships, I think what I find...
Tell me about Blanche.
What I think is important in a relationship... No, because I'm in a relationship now, but I think it's not just thinking of doing something kind or doing something that is nice, because we think about it and then we're like, I'm tired. I'll do it the next time I think about it. It's just doing it right then. Doing those little things. Those little, go and give her a hug. Go and do something fun. it's just
Jack, you hearing this?
no, quiet. No, but it's like the little things. It's sometimes we take things for granted. We're like, all right, this is great. I'm doing a great job. She's doing a great job. We're doing great. Like I don't need to do anything. But instead of getting in your comfort zone, sometimes do something that wasn't expected. Even if it's kind of a pain in the ass, or if like you really don't want to do it, do it. Do it and pretend you love it.
Thank you, Michael, for this. Yeah, I didn't want to do this, but there you go.
No, but that's the thing. You don't say that.
No,
You do it and go, how about that? Yeah, nothing. I love you. And, didn't want to do it, but I
there
did
you
it
go.
for you. So
You were hungry.
So
Got you
do I get
hungry.
something back in there? What are you talking about now? What you talking about, Willis?
You taking notes over here, Rico Suave,
I think I asked you this.
Casanova?
But I think no, but it's look. Obviously,
I don't have it all figured
listening.
My wife will
is
tell you that.
important. And here's the reality, though: women should know that guys aren't great listeners, and we try. As long as there's an effort and you're really trying to listen, but sometimes we're distracted.
Okay, I'm so glad you brought this up. I was just reading about this the other day. So one of the things that has helped me listen is understanding that I don't need to talk. And I'm not saying that what I say doesn't matter, this and that. Listening.
You don't need to comment.
It's not, it's you're listening. Like you're just listening and you give the other person space to say what they're saying before you chime in.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you don't
It's
have
difficult in the beginning.
And maybe you don't have to chime in.
Yeah.
Maybe you just simply listen.
Yeah.
And we do it for work. This is what I kind of said, like
Listening
being
is
on
the most
set.
important thing. I think we're getting somewhere. Listening is the most important thing there is.
But simply listening without feeling you need to respond.
Even if you're right.
What's right?
Doesn't matter. Like that's another thing, not getting to be right, not getting to say I'm right, not getting to feel it, but just listening.
That's
You're
an
right.
ego
listening,
thing.
just kind of
That's
go.
all ego.
All right.
What's right?
Hey.
You do it to me all the time.
Yeah.
You hear me out all the time.
Yeah.
You probably know better than I do in a lot of times, but you'll just be, it is the ego that wants to respond because we want to feel like we're fixing or charging
Or we
changing.
feel less than, and we're like going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. But simply listen, and sometimes you have to say you're listening.
I'm listening.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they'll ask you, they'll go, "Why? What?" No, I'm just listening.
Right, because sometimes.
Okay, now you're being a dick. You're listening
If you're
because
not,
you think there's something going on there. Now you're listening, but you don't. You're just pretending you're listening
because you're not responding.
Because it's a power move,
right? Because
it's
you
a
don't
power
care.
move,
Right?
Fucking listening. You're not a listener. How are my listeners right there, right now?
Everyone listening.
We've talked about this, but like in terms of like reboots and shit, all the shitty, reboots and stuff, and some are good, I guess. But do you think it's too far fetched that Alan Miles will ever say, "Let's do a one episode thing or a movie or something like that"?
I mean, and
it just doesn't seem like our show's the type of show that would happen.
I'm smiling and saying it's probably never.
It will never happen.
But like, I love the idea. But I'm also laughing at the point like you're one of the few people
I'm listening
who will be the first. Like I will start telling you a joke. Like I'll be like, I'll save a joke for you. And I'll go to tell you, and you'll stop me halfway, and you'll be like, no, it's not funny. And you'll tell me the joke that I was going to tell you better than I would back. So does that mean he was actually, I think he was listening hard. Like you were listening intently.
Yeah.
But you just don't want to listen anymore.
Well, no, it's
I don't want to hear any more of
Well,
this.
you know what it is? Most people in the world.
You get what I'm going for.
Well, listen, everybody out there, listen, because I think that most people that are telling stories and explaining things, they either A, over-explain them, B, don't explain them the right way, C, are just don't know when to stop explaining, right? My dog. No, I'm not saying it's you, but
No.
I think people live with people that are like that. And so I'm one to always say, hey, that could have been shorter. Fast forward your story. Let's learn as I did. as a comedian
Storytelling.
from my comedic friends, when I would go on, they're like, too long. Cut it off.
I mean,
you
it's
got
fair.
to be to the point. You got the story, intro, and get,
But that is, sorry,
That's a bit of an art.
I don't mean to say listen.
But it's a bit of an art.
It is an art in certain circumstances where, like, you and I can talk like that all day.
Yeah.
But when you're in a romantic, loving relationship where it becomes tough to just be like, all right, what's this really about?
Well, I don't do that, but I will
just
say, I'll say this. I'll listen. I go, oh yeah, no, absolutely. And I go, I love that story. That was amazing, but it could have been a lot shorter. I enjoyed it, but next time you tell it to somebody, just cut it in half. Cut it in half.
But that person doesn't know what half to cut.
But they know I'm kind of joking, but I'm kind of not.
But not.
If you could have any other job, what would it be? We talked about, I think you were going to be a fireman or something.
I think I would be a firefighter. Only
you'd be a good firefighter. I think you'd be a really good firefighter.
You know what? I think that probably comes from the fact that my grandfather was a firefighter, and we went to the firehouses, and all the guys were really cool. And what I love about firefighters is they're only there to help you.
Altruists.
Yeah, they're not coming to get you. They're coming to get you out of a bad situation.
See, that is truly. I always say it. I'm the most fulfilled when I help people. I'm the most fulfilled when I do an act of kindness, but I don't care if there's a camera on me or people know about it.
Right.
I just want to, it makes me feel good when I've done something to help someone else and nobody knows about it except maybe that person.
Well, because then it's only from you.
Yeah. It's real.
Yeah.
I talked about it before. Mark Messier, Rangers captain, who, won the Stanley Cup with the Rangers, he said, the true heroes are those who are doing those good deeds when the camera's not rolling.
Yeah.
Because you could see everybody, oh, look, Tom Cruise. And I'm not saying he's a great guy and he's very charitable, but a lot of people, they'll have cameras on. They're like, oh, look, I'm talking to a kid who's sick. Oh, what a nice guy. The camera's rolling.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, you're doing it for the camera and you're doing
it for you,
right?
And you're doing it for the kid.
It's not when we do our Smallville night stuff. That's why we don't do phones. I mean, it is that simple. I don't know if
because it's for the fans.
We're all here
it's
together.
It's not for the world.
Right
it's for the fans. Yeah, I agree with that. Hey folks, it's me, Michael Rosenbaum. Listen, if you're a supporter of the podcast, if you're enjoying these interviews, we ask you if you can join Patreon, patreon.com/inside of you, and help the podcast. It's a great way to build a community and friends, and there's a lot of benefits. There's different tiers. There's one where I give you packages every couple of months, a bunch of gifts, and write a note. You get your name shouted out on the podcast and much, much more. But most importantly, you'll be helping the podcast. So if you want to become a member of Patreon and support this podcast, that would be awesome. So just go to Patreon, Patreon, patreon.com/inside of you. And I really appreciate you. Thanks. How do you feel about the climate of the entertainment industry? It's definitely shifted, and people talk about how difficult it is right now. And
it's a lot smaller. NBC just canceled seven shows and replacing them with NBA games. Yeah. Like there's just less things that are being made. And I know like there's ups and downs, even me, because I'm a huge fan as you are of media. Like we travel a lot and we watch things on our iPads and stuff. And it's like, there's times when there's like, oh, it feels like there's so much out there that I can't even keep up. And then there's moments where like, there's nothing.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what are you watching? Or you're like, what are you watching? Cause like, we got to find something new. I don't use the word shift.
I use shit.
Shrunk.
Yeah, it has.
It's lost 1,000 jobs in the last 6 months just from executives being fired. I don't know what the solve is. I know that it's more competitive.
I think they should start filming more in Los Angeles, bring movies back to Los Angeles. And I think they need to do that. There was like something that they're doing, some fund. And
I mean, I hope so. I think the glamour of Hollywood no longer exists in that nothing's being made that's glamorous.
You know what, though? I also get upset. Like, I love Simon Baker. I think he's a genius director. I'd love to work with him. I love Denora. He's brilliant, blah, blah, blah. But he said something about at the Oscars or something where he's like, you have to do it in this industry. You grab your iPhone and you go film with your friends. And I go, you know, that's
John Favreau said something like that.
It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like it. It's that to me, it's so hard. If you want to make a little fun movie for your family to watch at Christmas, but to like really shoot a movie on an iPhone and the sound and to look good and to get it sold. And look, if you're just doing it because you're passionate and you just want to make it, great. But if you're like wanting to be, I just don't see a lot of those movies being made or people trying to do it.
Like this
I'm
is
trying to make a movie right now, and the lowest budget we could get is to $1 million for this movie, $840,000, and we're trying to cut the budget, but we need all these things to make it.
Right. Like where's the director who now has a film because he shot something on his iPhone?
Yeah, should I paint myself to look like a monster?
Well, actually, Sean Baker, that was
Really?
yeah, like
What?
that was his first movie was on an iPhone.
The whole movie.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
But like also, I mean, I don't know where he got like
What was the
schooling, but
movie?
like Tangerine.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see it either, but I just know that's what it was.
I think that
But he had a crew.
But I think he
and-
was speaking to like the like if
Have
you
something
love
to
making
shop.
movies, like yeah, like just like make it, just go make it, and then worry about the distribution stuff and like all that stuff later.
Well, the thing is,
Be
if
creative.
you're going to make a movie, though, you got to give it the best opportunity to be good, to be quality. So I just think unless, most people don't really know how to shoot on an iPhone. The phone's the focus is gonna go out. The fucking your
mean, I don't know.
battery's
Well,
dead.
you need a vision and you need a skill set too. Like
that's the thing. You need a skill set. You should have said, go to UCLA and then shoot a movie on an iPhone. I went to Western Kentucky University. I made a film. I've directed. But I don't want to shoot a movie on an iPhone.
I just
Maybe Ryan's right. Maybe it's about.
I think the takeaway is if you want to be creative in the way you can, based on the limitations of what might be around you, and that will give you something to show somebody else so they can see something. Like imagine trying.
I guess so.
Like imagine
Put that
trying to
in
get a role as an actor without a headshot. What he's saying is go film your headshot.
Yeah.
That's-
I just think that I think people shoot for the stars, and they, if you want to make a film, you're like, how do I make this the right way? How do I make it look like it's on film? How do I make it the sound great? How do I all the costumes, it's just it's a nice sentiment. It's hey, everybody could do it if we want to make, but it's a rarity to really go shoot a movie on an iPhone unless you are an experienced filmmaker.
I'm reading this.
who knows what
I'm
they're
reading
doing.
this book right now about this very creative filmmaker from Germany who went to Los Angeles and found some success, but not a lot. And when he was coming back, World War II started happening, and he got stuck in Germany. And I think it was Himmler came and said he knew who he was, and he's like, "Listen, Los Angeles treated you this way, and yeah, you were lackluster and all these other things. But if you make the films we want you to make for us, meaning the Nazis, you can have full creative rights." Now, what he was given is full creative rights within a box. And the takeaway from the book is you have to be creative within the box that you're in. And I don't know if any of that lines up, but going back to what you were saying, that guy said, he said, just go. Like, don't stop.
Maybe I
yourself.
misinterpreted because maybe
I don't think he was
because I think
saying
about
go film on iPhones. I think he was saying
no.
go be creative.
I think so. But you could be creative and you could do all those things. But
I mean, you're very creative with what you do. You two do a lot more than I do in that sense.
I could do a lot more. I'm sure if I went, but I think in my head I want to do it a certain way, and it has to be this way. And I don't think it's possible to shoot my movie the way he was sort of saying, "Hey, just go make it." It just isn't that easy.
Well, even to
make maybe some films, maybe if it's about a guy who works in a grocery store and the whole thing takes place in a grocery store and you can shoot it on an iPhone, great. But you'd have to cater towards a story like that.
Well, there was that DiCaprio Claire Danes thing that they did for Romeo and Juliet, where they went and they shot for a couple days as like a sizzle reel in order to get the movie made. but somebody put money up, and I don't know how they filmed it. There were no iPhones back then, so I don't know.
Well, we still had small cameras.
We still-
Yeah. No, I think it's look.
I mean, that's
But
how I
he-
learned in school. Was like we only had like mini TVs, and like we had like a little sketch comedy group on campus, and that's how we did it. And then also like even within the film classes themselves, like they were so small, we weren't UCLA or anything, so like we had to do everything. So we had like a 3-person crew, so like we had to learn how to get good sound and how to get like a good shot. Like we all had to know how to do a little bit of
the
everything.
good
you
part
know
about
what?
that
Good
is you
point.
respect all those jobs
Yeah.
too.
But you know what? It's a good point because for instance, the guys from it's all Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yep.
They shot it on video and they shot this pilot. And I remember it's funny because I remember I was good friends with Rob McElhaney and came over and showed it to me. And I looked at it, I was like, hey, cool. I don't think anybody's going to buy this. I really thought that. I watched it and I go, wow, it just kind of looks really cheap. But now it was one of the biggest shows ever. So it's not that I was wrong. I said, yeah, this is great. Good job.
and that was their sizzle reel.
It was their pilot for for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I was so proud and happy for them, and still are. But I think that it's
Take that first step.
The chances are, you shooting a movie on low quality or iPhone it's just your odds go way down as opposed to really shooting a movie on. You know what I mean? So.
Mm-hmm.
But I get it. Shit talking with Tom Welling. These are the top tiers. I got some questions. Niko P, what's it like balancing work and family life for you? Because you're always on the road doing stuff. Your wife doesn't care.
Sorry, was that a question?
She just doesn't care. What the hell, Tom?
That was such a question and then an answer.
No, but how do you balance it?
I will say that early on, even before kids, Jessica and I had a conversation about sort of like what my job was and how it works and how it operates. And she's on board. She's a part of all the decisions. And
What did you make of the Araverse, and were you happy that it span off from Smallville? It spun off from Smallville. Sorry, that's his question.
here's
Paul.
here's all I know about the Araverse is that I did one scene with Erica in what's called the Araverse. I don't know what the Araverse is. I never watched it. I never followed it. We know Amel. I love all those guys because like we've all had similar circumstances of being.
But you
in the
didn't have to deal with
trenches.
that.
No, we went to the Kent farm and we used I think it was the Batwoman crew, who may have been the Arrow crew.
But you loved it. You had fun.
I mean, kind of. They didn't know where to put the cameras, and I had to kind of help them. I was kind of like, oh, maybe this is a good shot over here, and I was like, oh my god, this is crazy, like because they'd never been there before.
Wow.
And I was like trying not to like, I think a younger version of me would have been like, what the fuck? But the slightly more mature version of me was like, I have an idea.
Right.
Maybe we used to shoot a lot over here, but I was familiar with the area.
Yeah. 99 More. What's your favorite karaoke song?
I don't think I have one.
Probably Living on a Prayer.
It's so funny you say that. No, what's the no. There's one that comes to mind. I sang it to my wife when we were dating.
Keep on Loving You.
No, it was a Whitesnake song.
Is this love?
Here I go again on my
And here
own.
I go again
Yeah.
on my own.
Dude,
All
we
right.
have this really great video where she's like, here, take my phone, video me. And there was this, we went in this parking garage and they had a fan blowing from the ground. And she starts singing the song. Like we were just, having fun. And she waited for me to sing the chorus. And I just waited an extra minute or two or extra second or two. And then I just dropped it like loud as hell.
She love it.
And we both laughed. So I would say that one.
Jessica B, what lies do you most often tell yourself?
Which ones? Probably that I'm doing more than I actually am. I mean, that's.
Yeah. I don't
think-
do that. I usually go, God, you're lazy as fuck. I'm like, God, you can do more than that.
Well,
I always feel tired.
but that's part of it too. But I just think in those moments where I feel like you really like those, I don't know what you call it, but those quiet moments where you feel like you have clarity. It's like, yeah, you're kind of just not doing as what.
And then you're hard on yourself.
Yeah,
And then you feel
I do
bad.
that. Yeah.
Susie Q, what's the weirdest thing or spot that you've ever signed? I signed a breast once.
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
It's this. Can you sign my wrist? Can you sign my arm? Can you sign
And
my?
then they tattoo
Can
it.
you sign my skin so I can tattoo it?
Yeah.
And then I get really nervous that I'm going to mess up my signature that I've
I do that too. I write it like 10 times.
Yeah, it's like it's.
And
so,
I try to talk them out of it.
Right.
Get somebody like Gandhi on your arm, not me. Linda M, describe your perfect day.
Hopefully, a good night's sleep. A nice morning with my family, maybe some golf, and then just maybe fishing, and then playing some basketball.
How about a nap in between that?
Oh yeah, there's naps in there.
Yeah, there's got to be a couple of naps.
Yeah, and slip and slide. I'm a big slip and slide fan.
I love slip and slides.
Yeah.
I've broken my ass so many times. Leanne, what is the one thing you absolutely can't live without?
Oh, Leanne, my family. That would just, nothing would make sense.
No.
And I'm not even trying to make it a nice answer.
No, I know.
Just, I didn't used to feel that way, but now that I have a family, everything just, that's the tent pole.
You know what I think gets you through these days? AG1.
Yeah.
Our AG1, man. We take it every day. Get your AG1 on. We do. This has been awesome, dude. I told you, it was just a conversation.
We don't have it all figured out, and we're all trying to navigate.
I think that's the thing. It's like, I think the most important thing is live and learn. And weed out the people that don't bring you joy and happiness and don't bring anything to the table. And when I say to the table, I don't mean it's like they have to bring a lot, but someone brings a sense of humor, someone brings some creativity, someone brings is generous in one way. It's like these little things that I try to surround myself with people that are, giving and thoughtful and fun and just you could be yourself around. And
That helps clarify what you said earlier about, doing the little things in a relationship and whatnot. Because you just made them actually be bigger things, but they're little things you can do to fortify relationships. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And just, being there, and again, like it's a weird thing, and I'm not challenging you or anyone to do this, but there's times when you're just in a normal conversation and just try to catch yourself and be like, simply listen. And you'll be surprised. Your body relaxes.
Can you close your eyes while you're listening?
I don't recommend it.
Check it out. You're talking to your wife and you're like this. No, I'm listening. I'm just resting my eyes. Okay. I got you. Thank you. I don't think that's...
Let me know how that goes.
I don't think so.
I'm not going to try it.
Funny. Tom, thank you, buddy. Always love having you on. He always says, what are we going to talk about? I don't know what to talk about. What are we? And we always figure it out. I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks for supporting the podcast and all that jazz. Yeah, we got great guests coming up. And we had Julie Bowen. That thing went viral. And we had Josh Duhamel. And that thing did really well. And a lot of great guests. So I hope you guys keep supporting. Let's read the top tier patrons. These are the folks that give back the most, I could say, because they are the top of the tippy top. So let's read out their names. All right, here they are. Nancy D, Little Lisa, Yukiko, Brian H, Niko P, Rob I, Jason W, Sophie M, Raj C, Jennifer N, Stacey L, Jamal F, Janelle B, Mike L, Dan Supremo, 99 more, Santiago M, Leanne, Kendrick F, Belinda N, Dave Hole, Brad D, Ray Hadada, Tabitha T, Tom N, Talia M, Betsy D, Rhiannon C, Michelle A, Jeremy C, Mr. M, Eugene R, Monica T, Mel S,
Eric H, Amanda R, Kevin E, Jor-El, Jammin J, Leanne J, Luna R, Jules M, Jessica B, Charlene A, Frank B, Jen T, April R, Randy S, Claudia,
Rachel D, Nick W, Stephanie Nevin,
Stephen,
Charlene A, Don G, Jenny B, 76, NG Tracy, Keith B, Heather and Greg,
Ellie K, Ben
Grether,
B, Grether,
Ellie K, Ben B, Pierre C, Sultan of Swing, Dave Tab, Brian B, T-Paw, Jack M, Gary F, and Bradley H. Welcome to the show. If you're a newbie, it's very exciting. It's very exciting for me that someone is supporting this podcast like all these other great folks. And I hope to see all you guys at a convention and hug each and every one of you. Thank you for all your love and your support throughout the years. And from the Hollywood Hills in Hollywood, California, I am Michael Rosenbaum.
I am Ryan Diaz.
He's right there.
I'm over
He's
here.
right there.
Over here, which is across from where he's pointing.
Yeah, he's here.
I'm here.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Me? No.
All right. A little wave to the camera. We love you guys. Thanks. I sometimes I feel like I just should just get to the interview because you don't want to hear me talk. So, but there you have it. Sometimes I talk. So sue me. I love you. Be good to yourself. I'll see you next week.